anytime you have Justin Verlander wearing the Astros uniform, it should scare other teams. I don't care if he's 75 years old and he's still pitching. Like, it should scare teams. Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Diamond. It's Dez. It's Garrett all the way in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
In Wyoming, yeah. In the mountains, dude.
In the mountains. He's a man doing content, finding himself in the mountains.
Yep.
B. Lima is on the shelf. He's on the 10-day IL. Hopefully he gets better here soon. And the Houston Astros are making a run.
They sure are. They've looked pretty good. You know, they split the Yankees series, but these first two games in the Orioles series, what else can you say about them? You know,
it was a damn statement. It's been a statement so far. This episode is brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. Hey, it's football season. It's football season. College football starting.
Can't wait.
NFL. We're going to be at Big City Wings all football season. You guys go out there. They have daily specials, the gridiron special, drink specials. Meet us there. Big City Wings, football season, and the Astros down the stretch. Garrett, let's start with the Yankees. Start with the Yankee series.
Yep.
We split. Good, not great, but
it doesn't even feel like we split. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't even feel like we split. I don't know. The Thursday game. You know, Javi. Honestly, Javi looks like we'll touch on Javi, but I mean, they felt like it was just an unlucky game, and then Saturday was just offense flat. You know, offense day. You know, so I'm not concerned with that series at all.
I think the biggest thing was just survive that series and taking the split. And the Angel Hernandez game on Sunday was ridiculous. It was a roller coaster of emotions.
That was hell. Hell. It was like umpire purgatory, bro. I hated it. It was like you couldn't do anything.
3 missed calls.
It was both sides too. It was like they just couldn't do anything. They could not do anything. It was insane.
I mean, we got the viral clip where he's just yelling at the dugout, to the Yankees dugout. I don't give a shit. While breaks it up at bat. Like, it was just chaotic. And winning that game 9-7, Jake Myers' day, 2 boombas. Maldi had 1. But the biggest thing, and I'll let you run with this, Mr. JP France.
JP France, you know, I heard rumblings, you know, we all heard rumblings about him potentially coming out of the bullpen and being an innings eater and being a piggyback for Urquidy, which I thought that was very smart. You know, Urquidy missed almost 3 months or whatever. JP France I almost didn't like it, and then he became a dog. Innings eater, bro. And then you know what we call that? A bridge guy like that? We call that the fringe connection. Get you to the end. Yeah, get you to the end, man. He showed emotion. You know, Angel was missing calls with him, and must be frustrating for a rookie who is doing well like him. And he was getting fiery at the end, and he shoved in his few innings.
He did, and honestly, him. I know a lot of people on the internet were upset, but he's back in the rotation now. We're doing a 6-man, getting Urquidy's feet wet, then bridging it with JP made a lot of sense. The thing though was, and I think it was a big growing learning moment for him, was bases loaded, 2 outs in Yankee Stadium in a tied game. He was just thrown into the game, and I was just like, well, that's one way to get your rookie hazing in.
Yeah, man, that's one way to throw him to the wolves, is, you know, in a hostile environment like that. And if, you know, one deep single, then it kind of just falls down on him, and, you know, it's a rough game from there with him. But he pulled through.
Yeah, and so from there we shift. The boys had a day off. They went to the White House.
Which they were looking clean, by the way. They were looking clean as fuck. Yeah, they looked awesome.
They were. I mean, they had the watches going. They had the suits going. Dex had a pretty good blog.
Yeah.
About the watches. The shoe game was strong.
Oh yeah.
Man, and we got an H-Town versus everyone shirt in the White House, which is crazy.
Clean as fuck. I saw that picture, and I mean, with Hunter and Jake and Chaz in the picture, and like that's phenomenal, bro. I mean, we should have asked Joe Biden to wear it. You know,
I honestly, I was in shout out Bill who made it happen. But I told him, I was like, just leave it there. Just like hide it. Just like hide it, and then like
Stuff it
maybe
in
it
the
just
Oval
be
Office
there
somewhere.
forever. Like, and then like maybe like 100 years from now, some other presidents be like, what is his shirt? What is
Pulls it
this? Like,
out. It's like an old artifact, and they're like,
yeah,
"Oh," and they put it in a
yeah.
museum, and it's just immortalized after that.
Like a reverse Trojan horse, like Nicolas Cage movie where we
And
like
yeah,
just put something in the White House.
yeah,
Uh,
we don't take anything. We put something. We
yeah, we
sneak it in
put
there.
something,
Yeah,
and they're just like, something feels off in this room. Like, what is it? And, like, you know what I mean?
yeah, and they're like, "I don't know, whatever." And then like the 80th president is like opens a box underground under the rug, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he holds it up, and he's like,
Hey, what
"What
if he
is
was from
this?"
Houston? What if he was from Houston too? A president from
Oh,
Houston?
oh
Oh,
yeah. What if it's like a kid listening to this right now, and then grew up to be president, and pulls it out, and he's like, "No
that'd be
way, I
sick.
found it." That's a movie right there. That's a
That's a
movie
movie
right
right
there.
there.
We're good at that, dude.
Uh, the H Town versus everyone shirt in the White House is the closest I will ever get to be in the White House. That was like my Forrest Gump moment, drinking Dr. Peppers with JFK
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Rose Room. So
yeah.
that was awesome. Shout out Bill. That was crazy.
You know,
Crazy that our shirt's there.
I'm gonna give us pats for that, dude. We infiltrated the White House. We infiltrated the
We made it to the
presidency.
White House. We made it to the White House.
Yeah. Politics
uh,
on Washington D.C. I love it.
and then in the middle of all that, Dusty Baker decides to give bulletin board material that I was like, "What in the world are we doing here?" He's
I don't
chirping the Orioles.
I don't know what he was doing, but I mean, he did know what he was doing. He was like, "Fuck it, I don't care." He was confident going in that series, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I was like, what are we doing here?" And look, by this time we're recording, the Astros have taken the series. They
Mhm.
took the first two games against Baltimore. They play in an hour. Today is August 10th. We're recording before Game 3, but let's hit the first game. The 7-6 comeback. Uh, I thought it was chalked. I thought it was done. I
Vibes were off
hand up on
the
me.
first yeah, vibes were off the first 8 innings. They were off. You know, it looked like, "Oh, we've met our match." You know, this young team is actually like they look like old us, a young, confident, cocky team that's just making it happen. And then the Astros became the Astros again.
Look, I had a player text me, and I put in our blog that you can't you can't quantify championship pedigree. Like, you just can't. And
Mm-mm.
that game felt like a playoff game. They jumped all over Framber. Like, if you would have told the Orioles had I think it was close to a sellout, Tuesday night game, they were rocking. They put 6 on Framber, and you're just like, wow, we just got to the Astros ace. We're up, you know, we're gonna
Yeah,
hand off to the bullpen.
yeah.
Our two guys, Cano and Bautista, who are absolute dudes. And then there's a couple things. Framber gave up 6 runs, but he did go deep in his start, which was huge.
Yeah,
He went
I
for
mean
7.
it felt like, it didn't feel like a good start, but for, in the sake of the bullpen and getting those guys rest, it was a good start, and,
100%.
yeah, I think so.
Stanek had a clean 8th, which was huge.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest at bats, and we'll talk about the ninth because it was crazy, but Jeremy Pena in the 8th got a huge RBI.
Yeah.
And I think it goes a little unnoticed because of the chaotic of the ninth, but it's not breaking news that he struggled all year offensively with the spin again,
Yeah.
and all he saw was spin that at bat. And shout out to him. He had a 3-hit night, big
Yeah.
time, big
Without
time RBI.
Yeah, I mean, without that, the rally does not start or the rally doesn't matter in the ninth. It
Correct.
ends up being maybe a tie game instead of us taking a one-run lead. So that was a huge at bat for Jeremy.
Yeah, and then the ninth inning, right? The ninth inning was what has been going viral still. 48 hours past.
Inject that shit into my veins in October, dude. That
It,
was juicy. That was juicy shit right there.
that's some of the best baseball I've ever seen.
I mean, like, did you watch it on the TBS broadcast?
I didn't.
Uh,
I
I
didn't.
I had it on here, the TBS broadcast, and I felt like I was like transported into the future, watching the ALDS or the ALCS or something. I mean, that ninth inning, vibes are good. Vibes were vibing in that place, and then you have Felix come out, and they have him. They're talking about, oh, his chances to be American League Cy Young, which I mean, he's phenomenal, and they're actually rather high. But then you just the Singleton walk, the Altuve, Altuve getting on base, and then it was just Jordan smacking a double on the wall. Like I thought that was gone, and it wasn't, and then bases loaded after that, leading up to just maybe the. I mean, it's maybe my favorite at bat in the last few years.
Yeah. Uh, First off, Bautista has a sick entrance.
Oh yeah,
Uh, Doing
oh
the
yeah,
wire was insane.
fucking crazy. I love it. I love that guy.
Yeah, and the dude's. I mean, he's literally like a creative player. I mean, he's
Yeah,
literally like 7 feet tall and throws 102,
and
throws a split finger 94,
yeah,
and the other side of it too is that John Singleton comes off the bench cold, um, thrown in against the potential Cy Young, and draws an incredible walk because I think he was the only guy in that ninth inning that saw a steady diet of splitters, where I think this Bautista didn't have a splitter that night, and so he relied on the fastball. But that first at bat, it was a 101, 102 up, splitters
yeah.
down, and Singleton drew a walk, and literally,
He looked comfortable at that at bat as
he
well. He looked
looked
comfortable.
very comfortable. He
Yeah,
looked very comfortable.
which is a great sign. It's just a great sign.
So that was really impressive. Altuve then ambushes a pitch, gets a little pitching wedge into left field. Breggs gets out, and then Jordan, which in that moment, the Jordan at bat I thought was incredible in itself because it felt like Barry Bonds versus Eric Gagne, where you had an
Mm,
MVP versus a Cy Young, and the
yeah,
stakes were high, one out in the ninth, and he launches one that I thought was out. I thought he
I thought
tied the
I thought
game.
I thought it was out too. I was like, "Get the fuck out!" You say that. I did that white person thing where I'm like, "Get
Yeah.
out of here!"
Get
And
out
it
of
was
here,
just,
ball.
yeah, it lined right off the wall, and but huge at bat, huge at bat.
Huge. I do have a small bone to pick with my son there. I had him on Prize Picks. Use code Apollo. His line was seven and a
Fantasy
half.
score.
His line was 7.5 fantasy score. I went more. He ended up
Mm.
with 7 because it was
Oh
the
man.
longest single ever. Because Singleton didn't score from second, and
Yeah.
Jordan only stayed at first.
I mean, dude, that was just like, and also you're maybe one like faster base runner away from getting that within Singleton,
I
dude. 'Cause
know. I
Singleton
know.
probably would have scored if he was faster. So, damn. But
And then
we take
we'll be
those,
all
man.
right. We'll be all
Yeah,
right.
we take those.
Kyle Tucker. I mean that's
Hey,
the thing. Kyle Tucker.
two words that we just keep hearing are Kyle Tucker. I mean, what an at bat. I mean, he missed a few, which I mean, you miss 102-mile-an-hour pitches sometimes. I certainly can't do that. He misses a few, and then you know fouled off a lot, and then it culminated to just. I mean, what was it? What was that ball off the bat? How fast did that go? He
On Tut.
yeah
I think it was I think it was 106, 106.9,
he shit on that baseball. Shit on it.
403 feet. His swing, the win probability on that one swing was plus 66.7% on the one swing.
Wow, dude.
It's
Wow.
insane.
Wow.
Um, and the at bat itself, 9 pitches. McCann had a ball rattle out of his glove for would have been a third strike. Didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a huge mistake. Obviously, like that's just part of the game. You just can't give these guys extra at bats in that sense. When you put
Yeah.
them away, you put them away. And this young Orioles team reminds me. I put it in our blog that there's a lot of similarities to the young Astros because Sig is there and Michael Elias is there, and they keep they tank to bring these guys up. They have them all up pretty much every other week. They're bringing someone up.
Yeah.
But this young team I think, is better than the 2015 Astros. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely. They're comparable to the 2017 Astros. You know,
yeah,
they
they're a few
didn't
pieces away,
yeah, I mean, they didn't
and they
make a
have
big time
money.
move. They didn't make a big time move like trading for JV like we did in 2017, which ultimately became the piece that pushed us over. But they are one or two pieces away from being the class of the American League, I think.
Yeah, and so when you're able to rip a win away from them, especially in that kind of moment too, the high stakes, these games mean a lot down the stretch. Um, and then to do that and then build off that and win on Tuesday and take the series before and go for a sweep on Wednesday and then go for a
Mhm.
sweep on Thursday. Now
Huge.
you're sending a message, a clear message that,
No.
hey, the American League still runs through Houston, no matter
Yeah.
what the standings say right now, August 10th.
Yeah. No matter what we've been through with injuries, no matter what we've been through with, players struggling with how tired they are or, mechanics wise and all that, it's still, I mean, we are a gauntlet. We are a gauntlet and we're not winning our division, but I mean, it doesn't matter, you know. We're gauntlet.
Yeah, and you take a series with an 8-2 win. Javier slowly rounding back into form.
Yeah.
He pitched good last night.
Yeah, he
He
pitched very well. I mean, other than that, two-run bomb, which they'll tag you for those. That young O's team, they'll tag you up on those. But other than that, like he kept us in the game. He got the win.
yeah.
He held on to that lead. He cruised.
And you have a start where he goes 5. Montero, who's I think rounding back into form, he has a clean
Hey,
6.
hey, people forget how good Montero was last year and how good he's and now he's been good the last maybe 11 appearances.
He
I
has a
mean,
2.54 ERA since July 1st. We're in the middle of August.
that's trending up, baby. That looks
That
good to
is
me. It's trending really up. So,
we need that to happen.
yeah, dude, yeah.
uh Neris does Neris things, Abreu and Graveman, but the real story was the offense. Obviously, they could have. We've seen it throughout the season where this team scores early and then doesn't score
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
the rest of the game,
yeah,
and felt kind of like that was teetering last night. And then eighth inning, a 4 spot. Um, Altuve was huge. Breggy
yeah.
was huge. Um,
I
and
I
then ninth scratching another one. I mean, that's how
I
you put teams away right there.
and, I saw you I don't wanna call you out or expose you, but I saw you tweet saying, "I don't wanna see this Orioles bullpen," which that's a very fucking fair statement. I mean, they have been nails all year long. But we torched the back end of that bullpen last night. They looked helpless. I mean, Fujinami came in. Fujinami has filth, and I think Fujinami will be very good, but he just could not. He was lost against
Yeah.
us. And then I don't know who they brought in after that, but whoever they brought in after that was meat. After that, they threw him to the wolves, basically.
Yeah, it was, I think Bauman, I believe.
Botman, yeah.
Yeah, getting the Fujinami was pretty big. We put up 3 on him.
Mm,
I the tweet I did put, I was look, I usually do stuff like that and it always backfires, but Seattle's a problem in this one, and I always find a way to wiggle myself out of it. But Cano, Cano and Bautista scare the shit
I
out of
mean,
me,
like, hey,
and I know
man,
we got to him.
yeah, I mean, well, I know we got to, Bautista, but, on paper, you do not wanna be going into the 7th inning down against the Orioles. You do not
Yeah,
wanna be in that position, so I totally understand the tweet. I'm glad it backfired, though, because we fucking I mean, we would be in this position, but, yeah, I mean, their bullpen is nails, man. They're a bunch of dudes in there.
yeah, and honestly, I think facing them and getting to them is gonna pay dividends in October as well when they do face them again, and now they
Mhm.
have, a lot of live bullets against them, so I think
Right.
it'll be a good, learning experience, and obviously the wins, were great on that.
Yeah.
Going into today's game, John Singleton gets to start.
Yep.
Jose Abreu's dealing with lower back discomfort. Dusty Baker just said he's to be evaluated when the team returns home this weekend. And then Chas McCormick just got scratched from the lineup due to a left knee bruise that he sustained diving for a ball last night. He'll be day to day. So hopefully those injuries don't flare up. Abreu, that lower back discomfort,
Yeah.
may have been happened all year. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, just tired ass team. They played more than anyone last year, and I mean, I was hoping at this point maybe we would just start to get a little healthier. And I mean, I'm not worried about these, the knee bruise and the lower back discomfort. I'm not worried, but I mean, going into September, we start seeing more and more of this. It's gonna hurt a little bit.
Yeah, a sweep today would be huge. You got Hunter Brown on the bump. Um,
He looked
I
good. He looked good on Friday with our
man,
death lineup. So I mean,
he
and
looked
I
really, really good.
I think it's because also having JV back in that dugout. Well, I mean, having JV back it rejuvenated everybody. I think, but I think especially Hunter Brown because that's basically his dad or his older brother. His father
Yeah.
figure.
Oh,
He'll be his father figure.
I think it's huge having him back, and uh, we could touch on Justin Verlander right now. the the start wasn't pretty. It was a C plus start, and he still gave you 6 innings against Yankees in Yankee Stadium. It was one of those games where the Astros refused to give him offense again. We've seen it time and time again with Justin Verlander starts, but
Yep.
just having his presence is huge.
Yeah,
It's a shot in the
definitely.
arm for the fans. It's a shot in the arm for the organization, for the team, and anytime you have Justin Verlander wearing the Astros uniform, it should scare other teams. I don't care if
Yeah.
he's 75 years old and he's still pitching. Like, it should scare teams.
I mean, our dynasty started with him wearing those Houston Astros orange and blue. So like it started with it, and it's still he's now back in that uniform. So why should teams not be scared of it? It should be like, oh shit, here we go again.
The insane thing about it is that basically we refinanced Justin Verlander through Steve Cohen, and he studied abroad for 6 months, and
Yeah,
then he came home.
yeah. He came home, and he's our baby's home. We hold his head, we pat his head, we're like, welcome home, baby. And we give him a full meal because he's a grown boy still. We give him a full meal, and we throw him out there and let him do JV things. And I can guarantee you, are you going to the game on Friday?
I'm thinking about it.
You should because that place is gonna
Thinking
be
about
fucking rocking, dude. That place is gonna be jumping.
it.
Yeah,
Jam packed.
yeah, absolutely. So glad he's
Uh,
involved in it.
yeah, I mean, when and the other side too is with Justin Verlander, and you nailed it with the Hunter Brown. Like, we saw a different Justin Verlander last year. We saw him a more open teammate. We've seen him like being with the guys, and I know he got a lot of flack throughout his career of just like doing his own thing, but the greats do that. The greats literally just have that mentality, whether it was Kobe or Brady or whoever.
Yeah.
Those guys are just on their own atmosphere, and it's a different world for them. But we saw a JV last year that opened up and was like one of the dudes and one of the bros, and I think we saw it again this past weekend.
Oh, I mean, you in Friday night when we had our death lineup out there. I think it was when Yiner hit his 3-run home run in the first inning. It cut to JV, and he slapped the dugout, or he slapped the pad on the dugout, and he was smiling, and he was hitting people in the back and stuff. And like I mean, he's one of the boys again. He is one of those boys. He's one of the fellas.
Yeah, and I think the other side too is that the guys can learn from him. You're not going to tell me that Hunter Brown and JP France are going to be able to learn more from Justin Verlander.
Oh, I mean, especially JP France because he wasn't on the roster last year, and now has the privilege of being on the roster of one of the best pitchers of all time. So
Yeah, and you get to learn from him. Obviously, it creates competition. I mean, Framber Valdez threw a no hitter the day we traded for him, and Framber's like, "Hey, I'm still the ace," and
yeah,
so Um, yeah, I think it's just a great shot in the arm. I don't know if it's like we'll see the dominant Cy Young award winning JV, but you're gonna get a guy that's in 8 innings, be a top rotation arm, and that's what you need. And that's exactly what we needed when Luis went down, when Lance went down, when Jose missed 3 months. You needed something like that, and you couldn't just keep relying on these rookies and waiting for the other shoe to drop. It wasn't sustainable, and so now you have this force back in the rotation that cements you across the league as like, hey, we're not going away. Like, we're not content. Houston Nationals are not content to just, all right, well, we won last year. Like, they're going for
yeah,
it
they're
again.
not settling, and it was pretty costly with
Yeah.
giving up Clifford and Gilbert, but I mean, what do we say in the trade deadline, man, or the trade stream? Parades over prospects, baby. You
Parades
know?
over prospects.
And I know that if, people were upset about giving up Clifford and Gilbert, but at the end of the day, you have a top 5 pitcher of all time back on the team, and if we would take another series that go back to back, you can track it back to that day when we
100%.
just went all in, got our guy back, and also got Graveman.
Yeah.
2 guys
Ooh,
that 2 the all both fellows came back.
who's running back in 21 team?
Hey, I'll
Is it
take it.
is it Astros Braves again?
Fucking looks like Braves will be there, dude. This Braves team, that Braves team,
Braves are a problem.
they
Braves are a
are a
problem.
problem, dude. They are a
Braves are a
problem.
problem.
I don't even want to talk about them, dude, because I even walk around Jackson Hole all day just thinking about Ronald Acuna's insane stat line.
Yeah.
Insane stat line. Matt Olson's insane stat line. I'm gonna be thinking about them all day now. Fucking
Oh,
crazy.
man. The other side, we go for the sweep today. We'll wrap up the episode. Predictions. What do you think today's game? How does it go?
Um, I think Hunter has a pretty solid start, but Um, I like the lineup, and I love how Singleton. What a story, by the way. Singleton finally, coming back, and honestly, he was mashing in AAA. So let's hope he continues that. You know what? Fuck it, we go for the sweep. It won't be
Go
pretty.
for the sweep.
I don't think it'll be pretty. It's not going to be like last night. Might be like a 2-1, 3-1 game, something like that. But yeah, I think we go for the sweep.
I think Johnny gets a bomb today.
Oh yeah.
I think Singleton gets himself one.
Dude, if he gets a bomb, that would be huge. Just a guy who's like, who can just slot himself in at first and replace Abreu when we need a lefty, and just hits a bomb today would be uh would be huge going forward. Very positive sign.
Dean Kramer is on the mound. He's 10-4. He's pretty damn good. Has
Oh,
strikeout stuff, but does give up the long ball. So um, the Astros need to work some counts and get through that. But all in all, go for the sweep. You can send a message. You can cut the lead down to 1.5, I believe, if you win today. So
mm,
um, that's good. I think anytime the Astros won a game this against Baltimore when the Rangers were playing Oakland was like it almost felt like a win and a half because of who the Rangers were playing down the stretch.
yeah,
And now we are scoreboard watching. You have to see what the other teams are doing. Seattle's winning right behind us as well.
yeah,
So everything's still out and forward for the Astros. There's a lot of season left.
yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
almost feels like the season just started. Like these are when the games matter. Like the
Oh,
the meme with the
absolutely.
guy that like sits up with the controller.
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like that's
he
where we
goes
are.
forward like that. Yeah, no, that's what happens when everyone gets healthy and we get Verlander back. That's We sit forward and we're focused now.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Well, you enjoy Jackson Hole.
I will, man.
You just load up, man. You're out there for another week or so, so
I
just do it.
definitely will. I'm looking out my windows and all I see are mountains with fog rolling on top of them
You want to
right now.
show you want to show the viewers the mountains?
Dude, fuck yeah. Hold on. My fucking room is badass, dude. Go out
Damn.
there. Yeah,
That'd
dude.
be fun. Don't even come back, dude. Just stay.
Dude,
Just
I
stay.
might,
Just
dude. Fuck
just
it. I
stay.
might. I can watch Astros out here, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll start fucking
Apollo
Wyoming.
Jackson Hole.
Yeah, I'll start Apollo, Wyoming out here, dude. Uh,
Oh man. Well, thanks for jumping on, brother man. We'll see you next week when you return.
yes,
This
sir.
episode was brought to you by Big City Wings. Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. College football's back. Astros are back. NFL football is back. We'll be at Big City Wings watching the games, enjoying 2-for-1 specials on Tuesday, Thursday, the burgers on Wednesday, gridiron special on Saturday. Just go. Just go. Hang out. Let us know. Send us a photo of what you order, and we'll just keep going. Maybe buy some buckets of beer for people. I don't know. Maybe
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 we'll
we'll do
start
that. Maybe
slapping each
we'll,
other.
yeah. So Big City Wings, thank you again. Shout out to them and Garrett. Talk to you later, bro.
All right, man. See ya. Watch baseball.
Peace. Love you guys.